I know that look. Are we at war?
I was once told, all warfare is based on deception.
Let's just take the bloody gloves off and fight.
I know where the gas is made. I have the location.
This is Barkov's chemical factory.
Yes, I'm taking it down.
Don't make this ugly, Captain.
Give me a reason.
It's a proxy war, John. We're all just pawns in this.
What are you doing? No!
For years, the West's hypocrisy has turned the world into a battlefield of corruption.
We need a win fast.
They filled their armies with drones, satellites, and missiles, never understanding that power does not come from how many cards you hold, but how you play your hand.
Ballistic missiles. How the hell did Iran get their hands on this?
We don't know how many, and we don't know the targets.
For years, our enemies have believed that they alone dictate the course of history.
You're the contractor, no?
General Shepard sends his regards.
This is KIA. We are invading.
It doesn't matter what I did. It matters what you can prove.
A lie flies where truth only crawls.
No one holds me down with a roll of red tape.
You've lost your mind, General.
When we shit, we bury it. That's how it works.
We don't bury each other with it, do we?
All it takes is the will and strength of a single man.
Hi everyone, my name is Liam and today I'm going to rewrite the story of Modern Warfare 3 2023. It's no secret that the campaign was not received particularly well, whether it be the story itself or its gameplay elements. But I thought it would be fun, instead of just pointing out where it went wrong, to offer an alternate story, one that would serve the characters and story in general much better, whilst giving plenty in terms of gameplay. So without further ado, here is how I would have written Modern Warfare 2023. Of course, this is all my opinion and you are welcome to disagree and have your own ideas, which I would love to hear in the comments by the way, but I hope that my narrative gives you some enjoyment. So, away we go with Prisoner 627. The game opens with the infiltration of the Gulag. We deploy via submarine to the exterior of the building. Alpha team moving to X.
Successful infill. Moving in for pickup. I'll copy Alpha.
Alpha 01 on the X. Synchronized watches. Timing is everything on this land. Alpha 01 going dark.
Prisoner 627 is flagged as a high priority target, due for transit to a new Gulag after its classified whereabouts have been compromised. We infiltrate the Gulag through an underwater gateway with the objective of exfiltrating Prisoner 627. As opposed to going guns blazing after Prisoner 627, the mission plays with a high emphasis on stealth, akin to the Wolf's Den and Clean House from Modern Warfare 2019. Getting compromised means the mission is failed, so silent takedowns and use of shadows are a must in order to complete the mission. This works to establish Coney as a more precision threat rather than a guns blazing militia. After successfully moving through the Gulag, the prisoner is found as he's being moved to the cargo vehicles for transport. He's cuffed and black bagged.
Fire team stand by on HVI. Weapons free on you, Bravo.
Suddenly, Bravo team draw their weapons and silence the guards around them. The asset is secured and Coney overtake the vehicles leaving the Gulag with the bodies of the guards in the back.
All stations, jackpot, say again, jackpot. HVI in custody, moving to exfil now.
The cutscene that follows reveals the identity of Prisoner 627. The hood is removed and we meet Commander Vladimir Makarov. Meanwhile, waiting not too far from the Gulag is Price, Soap, Ghost and Garrick, waiting on a prisoner handover, having already established that Makarov is a threat in the previous game. Laswell confirms that the prisoner transport has disappeared from its designated route. The Gulag siren suddenly starts ringing out through the night. The searchlights are going crazy. Price. Soap grabs Price's attention. He looks petrified. Cut to In Urzikstan, we follow Farah, much the same way as we do in the current story. She's moving to secure warheads to maintain peace in Urzikstan. However, Farah looks troubled. She's thinking about her brother Hadir, what he said. In a flashback, we remember what he said before he dies.
They won't stop. You have to fight them the way they fight us to win.
If we do, we've already lost.
Dina regains Farah's attention. Suddenly, Dina is struck from around out of nowhere. She reaches for her neck as Farah grabs the wheel. The truck crashes violently, throwing Farah from her seat and out of the vehicle. Coming to, Coney are moving on Farah's position. Dina is still inside the truck, trapped and still alive. Quickly, Farah stands and moves to Dina to help her to safety. But Dina waves Farah off, saying that she must go. Keep our country safe. Dina hands Farah the gutter knife and tells her to go. Farah hurries over to cover where the mission precious cargo begins. Coney walks up on Dina, who despite bleeding out is mercilessly machine gunned by Coney soldiers. Now these weapons-free missions are a massive point of conflict within Modern Warfare 3's campaign, but I believe that they could have been done and managed in a way that grants a level of freedom without compromising on quality. So looking at Farah's circumstances here, she's outgunned, outnumbered, disarmed, and woefully injured from the car wreck. Does this sound familiar yet?
This is Bravo 7-1 in the blind. How copy?
This would be the perfect opportunity to implement the gameplay elements already established in Modern Warfare 2's Alone, the mission in which a gravely injured Sub McTavish must move through Mexico to find Ghost. Farah would need to navigate the dangerous Coney group while using only resources found around the port to construct things like makeshift silencers, distractions, and lethal weapons to better her odds, all whilst Shadow Company maintains Overwatch, allowing the freedom of movement but keeping the stakes high and gameplay grounded. Farah can then lure soldiers away from the GPS trackers she needs on the cargo ship by fashioning a distraction that will pull a large number of Coney soldiers away from the ship. Maybe she could craft a climbable rope out of an anchor hook and rope to traverse the building with the manifests instead of moving through the building. Just ideas, but equally ideas I believe are much stronger regarding engaging gameplay. By mission's end, Farah successfully plants GPS trackers on 2 containers containing ballistic warheads being moved by Coney. Farah looks on over her dead comrade Dina. She looks angry.
سامحيني يا دينا. رح خليهم يتفاوتوا من.
The cutscene can play out much the same, but introducing what Hadir said in Raid plants a seed of doubt in Farah's mind. Now, Makarov's cutscene. Really the only thing that I would change majorly here is I'd introduce that instead of Makarov saying,
"The West, they love their choices. They will have only one. To respond on our terms."
It is instead left at,
"The West, they love their choices. They will have only one."
They will have only one. Makarov as a character is an ultranationalist terrorist. His goals are to re-establish Russia as the world's dominant superpower through growth and strength. This is why he wants Urzikstan. Sounds weirdly familiar to a very real conflict happening right now.
Russia wants this country.
They can't have it.
So this could be an interesting subtext. You don't need to rub it in people's faces that that's what they're going for, but it's there to read into if you want. Urzikstan being a small independent country that wants nothing but freedom and is willing to fight for it, and this Russian force that wants to strip that away. Makarov, of course, only cares about control, even if that means all-out war. Everything he does is fueled by his passion for a stronger Russia and one Imran Zakayev.
Elevator conversation always gets awkward.
All he wants is Russia's former Soviet glory restored, which all starts with Urzikstan and destabilizing the West. Task Force 141 move on to a disused reactor after Coney forces converge on what was once a site for nuclear power. Assuming Coney are looking for nuclear materials, Price and his team move to secure the site. Taking control of Captain Price with Gaz, Soap and Ghost in perimeter positions, I would borrow an approach from Vanguard here. I know, of all things. Why Vanguard? But borrowing the ability to command soldiers could lend itself to approaching this mission as more of a tactician, meaning synchronized takedowns on larger groups of Coney could allow for stealth to be maintained, as opposed to, once again, going loud guns blazing. Once the transport helicopters are destroyed, Price moves to the interior of the reactor. Here is where I would introduce the first piece of conflict. With the helicopters destroyed, Price assumes Coney will be moving fast to secure whatever is inside the reactor. Gaz advises Price to wait so they can move in as a squad, but he ignores him, citing that there's no time. He runs through the airlock and attempts to secure the reactor himself, clumsily shooting the winch that was removing the reactor's cargo, spilling it at the bottom of the silo, discovering that it's chemical, not nuclear. The reactor seals, the chemicals rise. Coney continues to fight but falls victim to the chemicals' effects. Price, running out of options, begins to cough. His vision begins to fade. Task Force 141 deploy a rope for Price as he makes his exit, and a soldier grabs hold of him, slowing his exit and forcing more chemicals into his lungs. Price escapes but wheezing and coughing. The chemicals have burned his insides. He looks down at his glove, blood. His vision fades, and he passes out. Price lays wheezing heavily with an oxygen mask over his face on the helicopter. He remains in and out of consciousness. The squad looks on fearful.
The fuck is in that gas?
Remnants of Barkov's program.
Sorry. Highly concentrated, far more lethal.
Recognizing that Urzikstan is in peril, they realize that they need to contact Farah. In the next cutscene, Price has come to, but sounds far worse for wear. His lungs have taken a beating from the gas. Task Force 141 RV with Farah outside of an abandoned bunker complex, something not used since the Cold War. Why would Coney need a launch site? And more so, why one from the Cold War?
Roger. Stand by. For fuck's sake, Farah.
When we meet back with Price, he is still not right. Though he affirms he is fine, he looks ill. He's breathing heavily and moves sluggishly as hard as he tries to disguise it. He carries a worrying cough as he confronts Farah about Graves' orders against his squad. Making it into the bunker successfully, Price and Farah find the bunker fully functional and that it's being used as a launch site. Draped around the bunker are flags with a strange insignia across them. Not Coney, not Al-Qatala, but that of Perseus. Price and Farah locate the first of 2 missiles and move to disarm, but they are too late. Their only option is to close the blast door and contain the explosion within the bunker. Moving as quick as he can, Price fights his way to the controls to shut the blast doors. Over the radio, we hear from Ghost and Soap.
Captain, we've secured the launch site. The target in Arklov. Missile is disarmed, but we're under heavy contact. What's your sit rep? Price! Price, do you copy?
Price can't breathe. He forces himself on, but cannot beat the countdown. As he makes it to the control room, the missile launches. He has failed. He looks on as the missile climbs high into the sky. Meanwhile, Laswell, having successfully met with her contact at Arkolov, receives FSB files on Barkov's research. The missile detonates on Arkolov base. Laswell moves through the base as soldiers everywhere die around her. Laswell steals herself and pushes up the stairs to the roof where Nikolai meets her. She makes her exfil, but is taken to hospital immediately, having been exposed to a near-lethal amount of the sarin gas. Next, a passenger aboard a Russian plane, an ex-ULF fighter named Samara, is framed as a terrorist in a plane bombing, claiming the lives of all aboard, orchestrated by Makarov in order to make the ULF look responsible for a terrorist attack. At the crash site, Coney are already there. Farah must coordinate in this mission with Alex to navigate the crash site without getting compromised. There are armoured vehicles and heavily armoured soldiers. Alex acts as Farah's overwatch, much like Price to Gaz in Modern Warfare 19's Going Dark. Using night vision and avoiding light-heavy areas, Farah is able to obtain evidence that Samara was involved in the attack, but Farah refuses to accept that one of her soldiers commit a terrorist attack. But Alex is more accepting to the idea that this could have been a genuine ULF attack, especially as the evidence begins to stack against her with each phone that Farah finds. Farah begins to feel Alex is siding against her. Farah's final objective is to find the flight recorder, but it's not there. It's already been moved. As Farah realizes the ULF are in trouble, Alex is compromised on the ridge. Alex tells Farah that he needs help, and though she gets close enough to help, she leaves. Farah informs Laswell that Alex has been taken by Coney, and laments that despite her best efforts, Makarov could still use the flight recorder to control the narrative. Task Force 141 and Laswell discover Makarov was aboard the framed flight attack, surmising that he wants to frame the West for the missiles and the ULF for the terrorism.
False flag operations. He wants a war.
We're on the brink, boys.
Had him right in our fucking hands.
It's here that we learn that Makarov was once in the custody of Price and Soap through a flashback, where we learn that though Makarov was apprehended, an entire airport was attacked successfully. Laswell asked what stopped Price from killing Makarov then. His answer: rules. Soap, full of emotion, wants to eliminate Makarov. Price considers it, but instead of him intervening, Garrick steps in. Captain, killing a man in custody, regardless of how we spin it, is still a war crime. We've got rules, sir.
I'm a hostage here. This is illegal.
Killing Hassan is an act of war. Keeping him is illegal. Right now, he is too hot to hold.
Now, this cutscene's going to change here for us. Instead of General Shepard being here, it's going to be Farah. Farah is on the line as she has received actionable intel through Shadow Company, which, needless to say, doesn't go down well with 141.
Fucking believable. So, you missed me? Well, technically, you did, didn't you?
But Shadow Company are offering the intel as a parlay between 141 and Shadow.
You want Makarov in a pine box, and I've got the nails. You never heard of the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
The intel offered by Graves is on a location of Makarov's financier, Melina Romanova. Finding her and breaking her could lead to a location on Makarov. Coney is running security with plans to safely escort Melina away should anything suspicious occur. This means once again keeping quiet is imperative. Using the full map to the player's advantage, Soap has options on obtaining the key to disengaging Romanova's security, from eliminating guards and taking their uniform to get close to the HVI needed to access the security building, to sneaking across the island and silently intercepting the HVI between buildings. Alternately as well from the game, this mission should take place at night, allowing Soap to slip into shadows and distract guards by blowing lights, akin to going dark. After successfully infiltrating the home of Romanova, Soap and Ghost interrogate Melina. After breaking Melina, she is left in her office, but as Soap and Ghost make their exit, they miss something. Melina gets behind her desk and hits a panic button beneath the desk. Every guard on the island pours towards the Romanova residence, floodlights light up the island, and for a bit of good old-fashioned shock and awe, Soap and Ghost must fight their way to their exfil point. Word makes it to Makarov that their location may be compromised. Makarov's right hand, Andre Nolan, is on site and marked as an HVI for a snatch and grab operation, fighting up through a complex under control by the Coney group. Gaz infills through the basement and can choose to approach this fight with stealth and tact, using scaffolding and climbing to avoid contact to climb to the roof, or once again, shock and awe. But drawing attention to his position will mean meeting incredible resistance. Task Force 141 successfully picks up Andre Nolan on the roof and removes him from St. Petersburg. In the following cutscene, Laswell says Nolan will be hard to break, but Price says he has a man for that. Makarov's transport in Siberia is exposed. This will be the same as in the current storyline, but the reveal that the prisoner in transit is General Shepard will be much more impactful because we haven't seen him until this part of the game. And this time, there's a second prisoner, Alex. After being left by Farah, he was beaten, tortured, and neglected but never broke. As for Shepard, after Shadow Company failed to cover his mistakes in Modern Warfare 2, Shepard took to clearing his own name by tailing Makarov, looking for a win, where he was compromised and taken prisoner. Upon discovering that General Shepard is one of the prisoners, Captain Price loses his head with Soap as well, despite his information about Makarov, and once again, Garrick has to step in and be Price's moral compass. Keeping Shepard alive, even if for now would mean obtaining useful information on Makarov, and instead of killing him, there will be room for vindication by exposing Shepard's illegal actions to the American Congress. Alex discloses that whilst in custody, He snagged intel on a forward operating base where Makarov is storing the chemicals from the reactor. Though the team are doubtful that this intel is actionable, Alex coldly replies, "What else have you got?" Farah attempts to reconnect with Alex, but it's clear that while Alex didn't give up his information, his implicit trust within Farah has been damaged. Attacking the FOB, the ground team get eyes on Makarov. He is at the base at the time of the attack. The attack is successful. The chemicals are located, but according to a manifest in the hangar, there should be another batch of chemicals, of which are missing. You'll also notice that I've completely taken Gorodam out of the story, and that's because it really doesn't have that much significance story-wise. It's just Makarov is bullying Verdansk again, let's stop him kind of thing. So instead, Soap and Ghost attack the airstrip with Shadow, Farah, and 141. A helicopter fleeing the base believed to have Makarov on board is shot down. The bird goes up in flames and there is no possible way to get a positive ID on Makarov. After a sweep of the base, however, an underground tunnel is discovered that Makarov must have made his escape through. This has to be where the chemicals went too. General Shepard is outed to Congress, as he does in the current timeline, but as for 141, they are at a loss for intel. That is until Price introduces Andre Nolan to somebody new. Nolan sits tied to a chair in a dark room, lit only by limited light sources. "I'll never talk. You may as well kill me."
That'd be far too easy for you, wouldn't it? You'll talk, but not to me. You'll talk to him.
Behind Price, a man sparks a car battery. Another member of the SAS.
He's all yours, Roach.
Nolan gives up intel that Coney are moving to London with an intent to destroy the Channel Tunnel. Now the ULF and Urzikstan attempts have failed, the focus has shifted completely to the west for Makarov. This coincides with MI6's reports of suspected Coney operatives in central London. This takes us on to Greensbury Park, tailing the hacker and Trojan Horse, and then on to what will be the final mission of Part 1, Countdown. In this mission we play as Soap. 141 and the English CSO move into the Channel Tunnel to locate two bombs designed to bring down the Channel Tunnel. Soap, a defusal specialist, manages to disarm the first bomb with the help of Price, but as soon as the bomb is defused, Coney retaliates in numbers. Soap is hit in the arm. Price asks,
"You broken?" "I'm good."
Gaz and Ghosts dig in with the CSO while Price and Soap push around to the second bomb. As Soap and Price get to the bomb, Gaz radios in.
"Captain, this site's secure. Ghost and CSO are taking over. I'm moving to you. 2 minutes out."
The second bomb proves more difficult to disarm. Soap is struggling to keep his arm steady due to his new wound and needs Price's help to defuse it. Price jumps in to help Soap, and just as they disarm the bomb, Soap is shot again, this time in the shoulder from behind. Price, too, is shot, falling to the ground. Makarov emerges alone from a pillar, steps over Price, and aims a pistol at him. But as the shot is about to fire, Soap rugby tackles Makarov away, knocking the pistol from his hand. Makarov fights back, kicking the injured Soap off him and drawing a knife. Soap, too injured to carry on, throws his arms up in defense as Makarov drives the knife down, cutting through Soap's arm. Soap lets out a pained yell. Makarov pulls the knife out and kicks Soap to the ground, leaving him to bleed out. He picks up the pistol and walks away. As Price begins to black out, he looks across to Soap, who's laying in a pool of his own blood. Suddenly, Garrick grabs Price's attention, kneeling over him and checking him for wounds.
"You broken?" "I'm good."
Garrick has been shot dead. His limp body falling over Price, pinning him to the ground. Makarov emerges from cover. He kneels next to Price. "Understand, Price. This is only the beginning." Makarov stands and walks to the exit as Coney reinforcements cover his escape. Over the radio, we hear Laswell.
"John? John, can you hear me? John, come in. John!"
Ghost and the CSO emerge just in time to catch Price blacking out. When we cut out of the mission, we see via news coverage that a chemical warhead has been used to strike London. The streets are covered in sarin gas. So there we have it, Modern Warfare 3 in my words. We set up that Farah may turn dirty, Soap is gravely injured but not dead, Laswell may or may not be dead, and Garrick, Price's moral compass, is now dead. The stakes have been raised now that the West has been attacked successfully and Makarov is still at large. Shepard also doesn't die, meaning when he said,
"You screw me on this, John, and you'll be sorry you kept me alive."
We might actually see what he meant by that now.
Sorry you kept me alive.
Cool. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my story and my awful character impressions along the way. I had an insanely fun time writing this, albeit it took me a good while and I'm definitely late to the fan rewrite party. But hey, I did it. Thanks again for watching, and as I said, if you have any ideas that could have worked better, drop them below. I love creative writing, so seeing other people's ideas is like having one giant worldwide writer's room. Anyway, take care friends. Bye.